Unchained Your Mind radio broadcast. Brother Jacob, bringing you the word of God, Israel. Understand why we got to keep the commandments. So-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israelites of the Bible. Unchain your mind.
Unchain your mind.
Radio broadcast. Change your mind. Keep the commandments of God.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Welcome to Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast. All right, welcome to Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast. Tonight, we got a good class for you tonight here on Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast. It's not about race. The statement that Whoopi Goldberg said about the Holocaust isn't about race. Now, we know that's a hot topic that's going on. Whoopi, she also went back on The View after being suspended for 2 weeks, and she apologized to the Jews that were offended by that statement that she made about the Holocaust, saying the Holocaust isn't about race. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to watch a short video, and then we're going to go to the scriptures, because concerning what Whoopi said, Whoopi was right. It wasn't about race in that situation when it came to the Germans and the Jews, simply because they're both from the same race of people. So basically, it was a situation where the Germans just wanted to annihilate and put to death a segment of their own nation, which were the Jewish people. And we're going to go into the scriptures because we have to identify who the Jews really are in the Holy Bible. So we're going to watch this video with Whoopi, and we're going to come back to Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast.
Whoopi Goldberg expressing regret.
So yesterday on our show, I misspoke, and I tweeted about it last night, but I kind of want you to hear it from me directly.
The remarks come just one day after saying this.
The Holocaust isn't about race.
Goldberg made the controversial comment Monday morning on The View while debating a Tennessee school board's banning of Mouse, a book about the horrors of the Holocaust.
It's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going after Jews
not about
and gypsies and
but these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Backlash was swift. The CEO of the Anti-Defamation League tweeting, "No, Whoopi Goldberg, the Holocaust was about the Nazis' systematic annihilation of the Jewish people, who they deemed to be an inferior race," adding, quote, "Holocaust distortion is dangerous." Goldberg tried to clarify her remarks Monday night in a pre-taped interview with Stephen Colbert.
As a black person, I think of race as being something that I can see. So I see you and I know what race you are. And the discussion was about how I felt about that. People were very angry and they said, no, we are a race. And I understand. I felt differently.
By the end of the night, the talk show host tweeting this reversal. "On today's show, I said the Holocaust is not about race, but about man's inhumanity to man. I should have said it's about both," adding, "I stand corrected." Goldberg took that apology to millions on The View this morning.
I said something that I feel a responsibility for not leaving unexamined, because my words upset so many people, which was never my intention. And I understand why now.
She credited the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, for helping change her views.
Hitler's ideology, the Third Reich, was predicated on the idea that the Aryans, the Germans, were a, quote, master race, and the Jews were a subhuman race. It was a racialized anti-Semitism. Your platform, Whoopi, is so important, using it now to educate people to realize that anti-Semitism remains a clear and present danger.
Yes.
Neither Goldberg nor The View responded to NBC's request for comment. No stranger to controversial stances, a contrite Goldberg now vowing to think differently.
Words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected.
And Priscilla Thomas-Jones.
He folds his willing hand every single time.
White Jesus is a hell of a drug.
All right, welcome back to Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast. You just saw the video of Whoopi Goldberg statement concerning the Holocaust, saying the Holocaust isn't about race. And she also said it's about man inhumanity against man. And that is a true statement. It is inhumane to just kill one another. Basically, that's a humane act, so we can understand that. And we also got to take into effect that when you talk about the Holocaust, it was about the Germans wanting to extinct the Jews, all right? Or better yet, the Jewish people, which were of the same nation, the same race of people, but it was a different segment of their nation. But they were of the same race. But the Germans felt that the Jews should be annihilated. So, unfortunately, they were put in concentration camps, and a lot of them was put to death. But we're going to go to the Holy Bible and prove that they were of the same race. So, when it comes to, was it about race? It isn't about race. It's not about race when it's concerning another race, because even though the Germans wanted to put the Jews to death, they were still from the same race of people. So as we go into the Bible, we're going to prove that it was an internal fight between brothers of the same race that looked upon a segment of their nation to be less. So more or less, it was a tribal hatred when it came to the Germans, the Caucasian Germans, and the Caucasian Jews, which were still from the same nation, still the same race of people. So it wasn't about race. It was about, yes, the inhumane treatment that the Germans would want to annihilate the Jews, which were still the Caucasian people within the nation of the Caucasian race. All right, but we're going to go to the Bible and prove that, so people understand truly that there was a unfortunate situation that happened, but the Germans and the Jews were from the same nation. They were the same race, all right? But it was a tribal situation where the Germans felt superior in their own race against the Jews that were from the same race of people, the same nation. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and we're going to read verse 25 in the Holy Bible. All right? Book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. But we're going to start at verse 23, all right? Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. So these weren't identical twins. This is two nations of people. Let's read verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right. So Esau is the Caucasian race. He is the father of the Caucasian race of people, which is the white race. And you have to understand, when you look at the situation with the Jews and the Germans, they both were Caucasian people from the same father, which was Esau, when you read in the Holy Bible. And we're going to prove with the Holy Bible that that was a tribal hatred among the same race of people within the nation, within the Caucasian race. All right, let's read verse 25 again. Genesis chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Now, Jacob's the father of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? Which is a different race of people. All right? So now, when Whoopi Goldberg was making that statement saying it was about humanity, inhumanity against man, she was saying it was white nation subjecting, killing, and murdering of another white nation, which is of the same nation, but it is a tribal fight within the nation of the Caucasian race. So, was it about race? No, it wasn't about race. When she said inhumanity, yes, it was inhumanity because they were killing the Jews, Jewish people, who the Germans felt was less than them, even though it was still the same nation, the Caucasian race of people. So that's why when Whoopi was making that statement, she said, well, what she saw was she saw Caucasian people, white people killing white people. She did not see any racism. And what she did not see was racism, because it was the same race of people, but one segment of their race, which were the Germans, still the Caucasian race, and the Jewish people, still the Caucasian race. The Germans wanted to annihilate them from their own race. So would that be racism? The answer is no, because it's of the same race. It's what you would call an internal fight within the nation of the same people. That's why when you read the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb. So the Caucasian race is a nation of people. That is a race of people, a nation of people. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So Esau is the father of the white race of people, the white nation of people. Now we're going to prove that, because remember, as you was watching the video, Whoopi said what she saw. She said it's about man in humanity against man. So it was inhumanity for the Germans to want to destroy the Jewish people of the same race, simply because of what? They had different beliefs, but they were from the same race of people, from the same nation. Their father in the Holy Bible is Esau, the red so-called white man. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 36, and we're going to read verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Verse 2. Esau took wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Halolabath, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zebulun, the Hivite. All right. Now we want to go to verse 8, the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 8. Remember, it's not about race. It was the same race of people destroying within their own race. The Germans wanted to destroy the Jewish people within their own race. So was it about racism? Or was it about another race? No, it wasn't about another race. It was about the same race of people. But the Germans wanted to destroy a segment of people of their own race. Genesis chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So now when you understand the Edomites are the so-called, the red so-called white man, all right? And that's why when you look at the Caucasian race, you're going to have different factions of their race. You're going to have German Caucasian people. You're going to have British Caucasian people. You're going to have people from France that are Caucasian, people from Italy that are Caucasian, people from Spain that are Caucasian. These are all the same race of people. So when Whoopi was saying it's about man inhumanity against man, it was about the inhumanity of the Germans wanting to destroy the Jewish people. Because once again, when you read the book of Genesis chapter 36, we're going to read verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So the Edomites are the so-called white race, or the white nation of people. Now, let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 36, and we're going to read verse 15. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau. Now we're talking about the dukes. And we have the dukes today in Britain, right? That's still part of the Caucasian nation, all right? These were dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn, son of Esau, Duke Tinman, Duke Amar, Duke Zephyr, Duke Canaan. Verse 16, Genesis chapter 36, verse 16. Duke Quran, Duke Gatham, and Duke Amalek. Now, we're getting to the Jewish people. Amalek, they come from that tribe within the white race. Amalek is just a tribe within the white nation of Esau, of the Caucasian race. Let's read verse 16 again. Genesis chapter 36, verse 16. Duke Quran, Duke Gatham, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. All right. So now when we think about what Whoopi was saying, was Whoopi right? Was it about inhumanity against man? It was about inhumane treatment of the Germans wanting to destroy the Jewish people, which were of the same race, of the same Caucasian nation. So was it racism? The answer is no, it wasn't racism, because they were of the same race. It was a tribal hatred within the same nation, the same Caucasian nation, where they wanted to destroy a segment of their own race of people. Now, was it racism? The answer is no. It's not racism. They wanted to destroy a tribe within their race. So let's go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 36, and we're going to read verse 16 again. Duke Haran, Duke Getham, and Duke Amalek, these are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. See, in the land of Edom, remember Esau, all right, the land of Edom. Today's Caucasian race of people are the Edomites. The Jewish people are Edomites. The German people are Edomites. The people in Britain and Rome, they're Edomites. So they're within the same nation. So it's just like we see the situation with Russia and Ukraine fighting now. It's the same race of people fighting one another, and they have a grievance. So now, is that racism, or is that a grievance within the race of those people or that nation? Remember what it said in the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and we're going to read it again in the Word of God. So if you believe in the Word of God, you're going to believe exactly that when you belong to a nation, that is your race. The Caucasian race, the Caucasian nation, that's one race of people, according to the Holy Bible. So now, when we go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and we're going to read verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, this is Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Let's read verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right, let's read verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. So now, when you talk about Jacob, Jacob is the father of 12 tribes of Israel. Now you're talking about a different race of people, the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But when you talk about Esau, he is the father of the Caucasian race, which are today's Edomites, like when we went to the book of Genesis, all right? Chapter 36, when we was talking about Amalek, the Amalek Jewish people today are still a Caucasian race. They're still part of the Edomites. Their forefather is still Esau. So, was Whoopi wrong? No, Whoopi was right. It's about man inhumanity against man, because the Holocaust isn't about race. It was about the Germans wanting to destroy the Jewish people because they had a grievance with them for whatever reason. But they were the same Caucasian nation of people. That's why God said to Rebekah, it was 2 manner of people, 2 nations in their womb. So it wasn't about their race, because you have to remember when the Germans was attacking the Jewish people, they looked like them, but they had a grievance with them. That's what you call internal grievance, and they wanted to eradicate them from their nation, within their same nation. That's why when we read about Amalek, Amalek is part of the Caucasian race, part of the same nation. Their father, they have the same forefather, Esau. Now, they say they're the Jews, but we have to go to the Bible to see what color are the real Jews according to the Holy Bible. Remember, this is a Change Your Mind Radio broadcast. My name is Brother Jacob Israel, and we just have to have the distinction and the understanding that yes, the Holocaust was something terrible that happened, but it was within the same nation. It took place within the same nation of people. All right, it was in that nation that the Germans showed hatred towards the Jewish people. All right, but we got to find out, according to the Bible, who are the real Jews according to the Holy Bible. And if you agree with what the Bible is saying, then that's good. And if you disagree, that's your choice. But here on the Change Your Mind radio broadcast, we're just going to read to you simply what it says in the Holy Bible. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judith mourning, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up. So God said that the real Jews would be black, not Esau that came out red all over, but you could see the blood through his skin. That the real Jews would be black. All right, now what we want to do here, because we know this is a very sensitive target, a very sensitive topic when it comes to Jewish. Jewish mean to pertain to. It doesn't mean the same. Whenever you use the word ish, it means to pertain to, like blackish or brownish or whitish. No, ish mean to pertain to. All right, so that's why they call themselves Jewish, because the real Jews. Let's go to the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9. Let's see what God say about what the Jews are saying according to the Holy Bible. Now, this is Christ speaking, because they said they were Jews. But remember, we just went to Jeremiah 14 and 2. It said, Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish. They are black. All right, that means the real Jews would be suffering. They would be in mourning, and they would be black. All right. Book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9. And then, now this is Christ speaking. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy mean lies, of them which say they are Jews. So you have to think about what was going on within the statement that would be made when she said the Holocaust isn't about race. She saw the same race of people. That's why it wasn't about race. She saw the Caucasian race trying to destroy a segment out of their own race. She said it's about man inhumanity against man. Now, was it inhumane for them to want to kill the Jewish people? Yes, they was brutalizing them. Everybody feels for that, but we have to understand. Was it a different nation? The answer is no. It wasn't a different nation that was attacking them. It was within that nation. It was a internal discourse of hatred within their own nation. Germans were also Caucasian people, looking at Jewish people. Now, they said they were the Jews. But when you go to the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9, in the word of God, Christ said, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. Let's go to the book. And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So God said that they are the synagogue of Satan. All right? Which means they're lying. Blasphemy means lies. Because remember, let's go back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14. And we're going to read verse 2 again. And then we're going to go to Revelation 3 and 9. So remember, this is Unchain Your Mind radio broadcast. My name is Brother Jacob Israel. And we are getting the distinction. It's not about race. Whoopi was right. She saw the white race attacking another segment of the white race. The book of Jeremiah, chapter, let me get it for you. With Jeremiah. Judith mourning against their language. Hold on, I'll get it for you in a second, Israel. So you gotta remember what she was seeing was white on white violence. That's what she was seeing. When she was seeing the Holocaust, what she was actually seeing that it was a Caucasian segment, a group within that nation destroying themselves. All right. So let me get it for you. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judith mourning and the gates thereof language. They are black. They are what? They are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. So the real Jews are black and they will be in mourning. That's the southern nation. That's the Jews, the so-called black race. We're suffering here. And our cry is still going up unto the Lord because we're still suffering here. And it says, Judah mourning, which means we'll be going through sadness and discourse. And we'll be attacked. And we'll still be suffering. It says, Judah mourning, Jeremiah 14 and 2, Judah mourning, and the gates thereof language. They are black. They are what? They are black into the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. So now let's go back to Revelation chapter 3. Revelation chapter 2. And we're going to read verse 9 again. This is what Christ said about those who were saying they were Jews. But the nation of people that are in Israel right now, they're Jewish. They're Israelis. All right? They're Jewish. Remember, which means to pertain to, not. It's like brownish, yellowish. You know, I'm sort of ish. Ish means to pertain to. It doesn't mean that it is. So now we got to go back to the book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. Remember, this doesn't change your mind. Radio broadcast. My name is Brother Jacob. And we just break Jacob Israel. We just bringing out the word of God that you get an understanding. Whoopi was right. She did see inhumanity against man. She seen the Germans destroying people of their own race, the Jewish people, of the Caucasian race, of the Caucasian nation of people. She's seen WOW-V, white on white violence. Just like we're seeing the situation with Russia and Ukraine. We're seeing WOW-V, white on white violence. The same race fighting and killing one another because of a cause that they have, a discrepancy, a belief. So they go to war. All right? So let's go back to the book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. In the word of God. This is Christ speaking. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So God said the people that saying they are Jews is the Jewish people. They're saying they're Jews. And they're saying they're Jewish. But God said, but are the synagogue of Satan. God said they're lying. All right, let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9, in the Holy Bible. Let the word of God speak for itself. Take no offense. No offense is given. The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So you have to understand, it's a discrepancy with the so-called Jewish people and the German people and the Holocaust. The Holocaust was Whoopi seeing what she was seeing? Yes, she was seeing the Caucasian race of people attacking each other within the same race. The Holocaust isn't about race. Yes, it's about race. It's about the same race of people attacking each other. Remember, Amalek is just another Caucasian tribe within the nation of Esau. Their father is Esau within the Caucasian nation because they have the same forefather. So the point is, Whoopi was right. So here on Change Your Mind radio broadcast, we just wanted people to understand that when it comes to, was it racism? No, it wasn't racism when it came with the Germans attacking the Jewish people. They were the same nation of people. Now, was there something that was good? The answer is no. But the point is, it was about the hatred of a segment of the same race of people. And the Germans felt they were better than the Jewish people. They had their grievances, they had their problems. It's no different from the situation of today with Russia and Ukraine. They're killing each other based on a disagreement. That's why you can see it 24/7. Russia bombing Ukraine, Ukrainian people dying, Russians dying. They're of the same race of people. Esau is their forefathers. Same thing with France, Germany, Britain, Rome, Poland. All of these Caucasian people have the same forefather, Esau. And they come from the same nation of people. It's different tribes within the nation. Just like when you talk about Jacob, the father of the 12 tribes of Israel, we have 12 tribes that make up the nation of Israel. So it's the same. With the Edomites, they have tribes that make up the nation of Esau. That's why it said in Mount Seir, the Edomites, which means it would be a group, a segment, tribes. That's why you speak of the Dukes and Amalek when we went into the book of Genesis. So, once again, this is a Change Your Mind radio broadcast. I hope this enlightens you to understand that when you are of the same nation and your forefather is the same according to the Holy Bible, Esau is the father of the Caucasian race, today's Edomites. Whether you Russian, whether you Ukrainian, whether you German, whether you from Britain, whether you're from France, whether you're from Poland, you're all the same Caucasian race of people. So whenever you go to war with one another, it is not racism. It is a disagreement within the tribes of your race. So I hope you enjoyed this show. It's not about race. It's simply your race has a problem within its race. Whoopi was right. She did see inhumanity against man. She's seen the hatred between brothers, between the segment of a family of the same race. So with that, I say, hey, shalom. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you always tune in because we like to bring up topics that we prove with the word of God. Remember, my name is Brother Jacob Israel. We let the Bible speak for itself. And if you don't believe and you understand your sin, like I always say, don't trust sin. You got a God problem. Shalom.
The Change Your Mind radio broadcast. Brother Jacob, bringing you the word of God, Israel. Understand why we got to keep the commandments. So-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israelites of the Bible. Change your mind.
Unchain your mind.
Radio broadcast. Change your mind. Keep the commandments of God.